October the 1st. I just want to touch on this whole United States flag anthem controversy. When you hear someone refer to either as just words or cloth, you should remember some people will stick with the basics. But getting mad at the reference that it's a piece of cloth or just words is unproductive. To many of us, it's not just disrespect to the flag and the anthem, it is an attack on more than just the past, but it disrespects and belittles what others value. Our reaction should be sadness and sympathy for those who are unable to see beyond the earthly world. They are disabled, limited in their thought process to earthly things, and will likely never really be able to see anything of value outside of their own petty desires and wants. I find that as something to mourn, not to get angry about. They are not doing it to be malicious. Someone unable physically to see, we try and show sympathy. We try not to get angry with them because they bump into us or step on us, right? The opinion doesn't change what the flag or this country means to me. Let others marinate in earthly juices. If they can see nothing else but what's literal, they can hardly be expected to ever have a hope for something more. To people so blinded they will always value the short term on earth as all there is, that is something to feel sympathy for, not hatred. Don't tell others who do this you forgive them or you pity them. What good does it do them for you to demonstrate your pity or sympathy? That only is you stroking your own ego and will only escalate a confrontation and does nothing for you, them, or society. For people unable to see beyond the material world are just as disabled as a physical disability. They will thrive here, but they will never be able to see and embrace anything they can't touch or feel. That to me is something to mourn for. Those protesting the flag and the anthem do so because they can only believe in what they touch, feel, what their eyes can see. It might trigger you, but again, it is frustrating and pointless to get angry at someone blind who hurt you just because they didn't see you. If it offends you, then just remove yourself, but never try and force others to see things your way. They will only ratchet it up. Freedom of speech and freedom of expression is necessary. The Founding Fathers understood that, even as flawed as they were, and made it the First Amendment, the first right that must never be at the mercy of the majority. And for those who lack their ability to see beyond their senses, they will never understand. They might stop doing what they were, but will still do something else as a way of defiance to prove a point, because they think you're overreacting. That by doing that, we are violating our own freedom of speech rules that we say we value. Our side loses if we forget the difference between exercising our freedom of speech and expression and violating others that way and brings us down to their level. That is hardly helpful because they do so out of a disability. You would be doing so in violation of what you know is right because it triggered you emotionally. Who has committed the worst offense? Someone who do so from ignorance, or one that can't control themselves and demonstrates their hypocrisy to the world? Never let your well-being rest in what others do. Thank you. Freedom of speech is probably the most easily abused right that the United States Constitution protects. It seeks to get sanity to triumph over insanity at a time when emotions are red hot. It takes two people or groups doing wrong to have a confrontation. It starts small, but each volley thrown can either decide or increase the intensity of the confrontation. Who started it isn't as important than who in wisdom recognizes and chooses to stop feeding the flames of anger and intolerance.